Hey, welcome back to Bobb-z Callahan's Word of Advice. And already, I'm up to video 140 in the new series Bobb-z Callahan's Word of Advice. Doesn't it feel like forever ago when I started this new series of videos kind of out of nowhere. And here we are already at 140. I know I still have a few ideas left before I'll be taking just a little bit of time off and considering something somewhat new in the summer, but that's still a thought which I'm taking some time to just really digest and think about before I put it into action. And now that I think about it, that's actually a great segue into the topic I want to talk about for today. And this would be on making decisions slowly. Yeah, I know not in every case we can make a decision slowly. I talked about in an earlier video about on-the-spot decisions, where we literally have to decide what to do like that. Those kind of situations are going to happen. However, there are other circumstances where we are able to make a decision slowly and we actually have time to think about it before we actually decide to do something or say yes or no. I think it's important, if we are ever in that situation where we can make a decision slowly, to actually take advantage of that time we have to think about the decision we are going to make. Whether it's you working on a school project and you have time to think about what topic you're going to talk about, or maybe you're thinking about applying for a new job and you have time to really consider applying for it and then saying yes or no to it. There are plenty of examples in the world where we can make a decision and we can make it slowly. And I really think if we take the right amount of time to think about a decision we're going to make, then we are really benefiting ourselves. You know, if we make all our decisions without really thinking about the pros and cons to our decision, then we could end up possibly making more decisions which we are going to regret. You know, I've been there, done that before. I think we all can say that. And, you know, at any time that we have made certain decisions without really thinking about it, have not always had a great result. That's just going to happen. However, over time, I can also say that I've had those cases where I've been able to actually think about a decision I could make, and in the end, since I actually thought about it, I benefited in the end. I remember two examples. I'll share both of them right now where I actually had time to think about a decision before I put it into action. My senior year of high school, I remember one friend and I, we wanted to do a senior prank. And of course, my friend and I went through some different ideas. Some not so cool, some more acceptable. But it wasn't overnight that my friend and I thought about duct taping a teacher to the wall, along with his consent, of course. That idea had taken some time and some serious thought because, you know, my friend and I wanted to do something cool and funny, but we also didn't want to get into trouble at the end of our senior year and then have all that chaos. So my friend and I thought about it for, I think, 2 months before we went to one of our favorite teachers and asked him, "Hey, for senior prank, could we duct tape you to the wall? You know, just to be silly." And of course the teacher consented, and in the end, my friend and I pulled off a cool senior prank, and a lot of people loved it, and nobody got in trouble. Now, on top of that, another decision I made in my life, which I had taken some time to think about, happened 2 years ago now, in 2012. The opportunity seemed to pop out of nowhere when I saw on a church website that there was the opportunity to work all summer as a youth ministry intern. I discovered it in January of 2012, and while I definitely had taken some interest to ministry already, I had never had an actual ministry job before, and I had never applied or worked for a ministry job where I came in as a totally new guy to a totally new youth group and a totally new church staff and a new congregation. For me, that was out of my comfort zone. And at first, while the idea seemed intriguing, I still wasn't so sure if I wanted to go for it. However, thanks to, again, making this decision slowly and thinking about it and praying about it, I ended up applying for this job, and I got the job. And when I worked in the summer of 2012 as a youth ministry intern, so far it's been the greatest job of my life. And I would just say that the time I actually put into thinking about applying for that job was very worthwhile to me. In the end, if we ever have those times where we can make a decision slowly, as I said, we should take advantage of the time we have to think about, going through with a decision or saying yes or no to something, whatever it is. And I think if we take advantage of the time we have to make a certain decision, then we should end up making a smarter decision, and we will likely not regret anything in the end, since we have thought about saying yes or no or putting our decision into action. So with that, I certainly hope what I've had to talk about on this topic of making decisions slowly will come in handy for you. Again, I certainly hope that you guys have been enjoying these word of advice videos. Be sure to come back for another word of advice video very soon.